Eyes be still, peace yet again.
I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cries, Caesar. Speak! Caesar has turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March!
What woman is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Send her before me. Let me see her face.
Come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March!
She is a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too strange and too stubborn a hand over your friend that loves you.
Be not deceived, Cassius. If I had veiled my look, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions proper only to myself, which give some soil, perhaps, to my behaviors. But let not, therefore, my dear friends, be grieved, among which number you be one, Cassius, nor construe any neglect, than that poor Cassius, at war with herself, forgets the shows of love to other women.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye cannot see itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just and very much lamented that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your own eyes so that you might see your shadow.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Well, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
This is shouting. I do fear the people choose Caesar for their queen.
Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love her well. But wherefore would you keep me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Honor is the subject of my story. I was born free as Caesar. So are you. We have both fed as well. We can both endure a winter's cold as well as she. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon her word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade her follow. But ere we could reach point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" So from the waves of Tiber did I bear the tired Caesar. And this woman has become a god, and Cassius a wretched creature that must bend herself as Caesar most carelessly gnawed on her. Ye gods, it doth amaze me how a woman of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe these applauses are for some new honors heaped on Caesar.
Why, woman, she doth bestride this narrow world like a colossus. And we, petty women, walk under her huge legs to peep about and find ourselves dishonorable graves. Women, at some time, are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. in that? Brutus and Caesar. What is in that Caesar? Why should her name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is his fair name. Sound them. Yours does become the mouth as well. Upon what meat does this, our Caesar, feed that she's become so great? Age, thou art shamed. When could they say till now, who speaks of Rome, that her wide walls encompass but one woman?
That you love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I thought on this and at these times I shall recount hereafter. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Until then, chew upon this note. Brutus had rather be a villager than account herself a daughter of Rome under these harsh conditions that this time lays upon us.
Well, I'm glad that my weak words have struck but this much show of fire from Brutus.
Games are over, and Caesar is returning.
When they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and she will, after her sour fashion, tell us what has happened worthy note today.
Which I will do. But look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth grow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chiding train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius! Caesar! Let me have women about me that are fat. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. She thinks too much. Such women are dangerous.
Fear her not, Caesar. She is not dangerous. She's a noble Roman and well given.
Would she were fatter? But I fear her not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the woman I should avoid so soon as that fair Cassius. She reads much. But she is a great observer, and she looks quite through the deeds of women. She loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. She hears no music. Seldom she smiles. Smiles in such a sort as if she mocked herself and scorned her spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Well, such women as she be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves. And therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. For always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of her.
You would speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us, what have chanced today that Caesar looks so sad?
Why, you were with her, were you not?
I would not ask what had chanced then, Casca.
Why, there was a crown offered her, and being offered, she put it by with the back of her hand, thus, and the crowd fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered her thrice?
Aye, Mary was, and she put it by thrice, every time gentler than other, and at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered her the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer her a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, she put it by once. But, for all that, to my thinking, she would fain have had it. Then she offered it to her again. Then she put it by again. But, to my thinking, she was very loath to lay her fingers off it. Then she offered it the third time. She put it the third time by. And still, as she refused the crown, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for she swooned and fell down at it. But for my part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
Soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
She fell down in the marketplace, foamed at mouth, and was speechless.
'Tis very like she hath the failing sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest CASCA, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap her and hiss her according as she pleased or displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true woman.
What said she when she came unto herself?
Mary, before she fell down, when she perceived the common herd was glad she refused the crown, she plucked me out her doublet and offered them her throat to cut. And I had been a woman of any occupation, if I would not have taken her at a word, I might go to hell among the rogues. And so she fell. And when she came back to herself, she said if she had done or said anything amiss, she desired their worships to think it her infirmity.
And after that she came, thus sat away?
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye. She spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood her smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for my part, it was Greek to me. There was more foolery yet, if I could but remember it.
CASCA! Will you sup with me tonight?
Nay, I am promised forth.
Well, will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
I'll expect you then.
Ah, do so. Farewell both.
The blunt one is this grown to be. She was quick mettle when she went to school.
So is she now of any bold or noble enterprise.
So it is. For this time I will leave you, Cassius. If you wish to speak with me tomorrow, I will come home to you. Or, if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you there.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble yet, but I fear thy honorable metal may be rot. From that it is disposed. Caesar bears me hard, but she loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and she were Cassius, she would not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at her window throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome bears of her name, wherein Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. After that, let Caesar seat her sure, for we will shake her, or worse days endure. Who's there?
A Roman,
CASCA, by your voice.
your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
Well, a very pleasing night to honest women.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those who've known the earth so full of faults. As for my part, I have walked about these streets, submitting me into the perilous night, and thus embraced, CASCA, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstorm. And when the cross blue lightning did seem to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself in the very aim and flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of women to fear and tremble when the most mighty goddesses, by tokens, send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
Oh, you are dull, CASCA, and those should be in a Roman, you do what? Or else you use not. Now could I, Casca, name to be a woman, most like this dreadful night that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars, as does the lioness in the Capitol? A woman no mightier than thyself, or me, in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful, as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar a queen.
Then I know where I will bear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius.
So can I. So every bondwoman in her own hand bears the power to cancel her captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor woman. I know she would not be a wolf, but she sees the Romans are but sheep. Oh, such a vile thing as Caesar! But, oh, grief, where hast thou led me? Perhaps I speak this before a willing bondswoman? Then my answer must be made, but I am armed and dangers to me are indifferent.
You speak to CASCA, and to such a woman that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand, be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
Now there's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have removed already some certain of the noblest minded Romans. Turn to go with me in enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this they stay for me in Pompey's porch. For on this night there's no stir or walking in the streets, and the complexion of the elements is much like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna! I do know her by her gait. She is a friend. Cinna! Where do you haste so?
Find out you. Who's that?
'Tis Casca. She is one incorporate in our attempts. Tell me, Cinna, am I stayed for?
I'm glad I know. What a fearful night is
Tell
this.
me, am I stayed for?
Yes, yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our
Be
party.
content, good Cinna. Now, take these papers and look you lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Throw this in at her window and set this one up in wax in old Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's port where you shall find us.
I will hide, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
All this done, repair to Pompey's porch. Let us go, Casca. Yet ere day we will see Brutus at her house. 3 parts of her is ours already, and the woman entire, upon this next encounter, yields her ours.
Oh, she sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which in us would appear offense, her countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Her great worth, and our great need of her, you have right well conceded. Let us go, Casca, for it is almost midnight, and yet ere day we will wake her and be sure of her.
What? Lucius, ho! I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. Lucius, I say! Would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say! What, Lucius?
Called you, my lady?
Get a taper from my study. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lady.
Must be by her death. Yet for my own heart, I can find no personal cause to spurn at her, but for the general. She would be crowned. How that might change her nature. There's the question. Crown her? Then I grant we put a sting in her, where at her will she may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins power from remorse. Yet, to speak of Caesar, I have not known when her affections have swayed more than her reason.
The taper burneth in your closet, ma'am. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. Is not tomorrow, girl, the Ides of March?
I know not, ma'am.
Look on a calendar and bring me word.
I will, ma'am.
The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome and company speak, strike, redress? Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome stand under the awe of one woman? What, Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when she was called a queen. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Ma'am, March is wasted 14 days.
Well, go to the door, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did whet me against Caesar, I've not slept. Between the acting of a dangerous thing and the first motion, all the interim is a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instrument are then in council. And the state of woman, like a little kingdom, suffers the insurrection.
Ma'am, 'tis your sister Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is she alone?
No, ma'am, there are more with her.
Do you know them?
No, ma'am. Their hats are plucked about their ears and half their faces buried in their cloaks. That by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let him enter. 'Tis the faction. O conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? And by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek it not, conspiracy, but hide it in smiles and affability.
I fear we are too bold upon your arrest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Do I know these women?
Yes, every woman of them. And no one here but honors you and wishes you had but that opinion of yourself that every noble Roman bears of you. This, DECIUS Brutus.
She is welcome hither.
This, CASCA. And this, Cinna.
They are welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No. Give me your hands all over. One by one.
Yes! And let us swear our resolution!
No, not an oath. If not the face of women, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break we off betimes, and every woman hence to her idle bed. What spur need we but our own cause to prick us to redress? What oath but secret Romans who have spoke a word and will not palter? What other bond but honesty to honesty engaged, where it shall be or we will fall for it? To think that our cause or our performance did need an oath.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound her? I think she'll be very strong with us.
Let us not leave her out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have her, for her silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by women's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, her judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and wildness shall no whit appear, but be all buried in her gravity.
Name her not. Let us not break with her, for she will never follow anything that any woman begins.
Then leave her out.
Indeed, she is not fit.
Shall no woman else be touched, but only Caesar?
DECIUS, well urged. I think that it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, shall outlive Caesar. We shall find in her a shrewd contriver. And you know, her means, if she stretch them, shall seek to annoy us all. Which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius, to cut off the head and hack the limbs like wrath and death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers and not butchers, Cassius. We stand against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of women, there is no blood. Oh, that we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar, but alas, Caesar must bleed for it. Friends, let us kill her boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve her as a dish fit for the goddesses, not hew her as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and after seem to chide them. This will make our cause seem necessary and not envious. Then to the common eye we shall be called perjurers and not murderers. And as for Antony, think not on her, for she can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
But still, I fear her for the engrafted love she bears towards Caesar.
Alas, Cassius, think not on her. If she loves Caesar, all that she can do is to herself, give thought and die for Caesar. And it is as well she should, for she is given to sports, to wildness, and to much company.
There is no fear in her. Let her not die, for she will live and laugh at this hereafter.
But still, it is doubtful whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for she is superstitious grown of late, of dreams, fantasies, ceremonies. It may be that these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of her arguers may keep her from the capital today.
Never fear that. If she is so resolved, I can o'ersway her. For she loves to hear that unicorns can be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and women with flatterers. But when I tell her that she hates flatterers, she says she does, being then most flattered. Let me work. I will give her humor the true bent, and I will bring her to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch her.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Well, morning is upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves. But remember what you have said, and show yourselves to be true Romans.
Good countrywoman, look fresh and merrily. Let not your looks put on your performance, but bear them as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. So farewell. Portia, what mean you? Wherefore do you rise this early? It is not for your weak condition to commit your health to the raw, cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effective humor which hath her hour with every woman. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lady, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were she not in health, she would embrace the means to come by it.
So I do. But Portia, go to bed.
What? Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will she steal from her wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto her sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once committed beauty, and by all your vows of love, and that one vow that did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are troubled, and what women tonight have had to resort to you.
Portia, gentle Portia, kneel not.
You should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk with you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, if it be no more, Portia's Brutus's harlot, not her wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know the secret. Tell me your counsels, I will not dispose of. I've made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not your secrets?
Oh, ye gods. Render me worthy as such a noble wife. Portia, come in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake of all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements shall I construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brow.
Heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lady?
Go bid the priests to present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lady.
What mean you, Caesar? Oh, think you to walk forth. Oh, you shall not stir out of the house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, but now they frighten me. Oh, there is one within, besides the things we have heard and seen, that recounts most horrid sights seen by the watchful. A lioness hath whelped in the street. Graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors have fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and right forms of war, which drizzled blood upon the capital. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty goddesses? Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these things are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princesses.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never tasted death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that women should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The goddesses do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if she should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than she, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lady, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Oh, do not go forth today. Call it my fear that kept you in the house, not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and she shall say, you are not well. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy cure I will stay at home. But here's Decius Brutus. She shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, mighty Caesar. I come to take you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. A cannot is false, and that I dare not fall, sir. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say she is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It is a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, signifies that from you great Rome will suck reviving blood. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
In this way have you well expounded it.
I have. And when you hear what I can say, and know it now, the Senate have concluded this day to give a crown to mighty Caesar. If you give word that you shan't come, then they may change their minds. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate until another time when Caesar's wife meets with better dreams. If Caesar hide herself, might they whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid. Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I'm ashamed I did yield to them. I will go. Look where Publius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Publius. What? Brutus? Are you stirred so early, too? Good morrow, Casca. Cinna. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is t'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy.
Oh, see, Antony that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding up.
Good morrow, Antony.
So do you, Master.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. And now, Cinna, now Casca. Brutus, have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that all your best friends wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me. And we, like friends, will straightway go together.
But every life is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus yearns to think about.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Come not near Cassius. Have an eye to CASCA. DECIUS Brutus loves thee not. There is but one mind in all these women, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty goddesses defend thee. Here will I stand until Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give her this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live, if not the fates with traitors do contrive. Prithee, girl, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
Have thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Oh, Constancy, be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word, girl, if thy lady look well, for she went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to her. Girl, what noise is that?
I hear nothing, madam.
Prithee, listen well. Heard a bustling murmur, like a fray, and the winds bring it from the capital.
Madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, friend. Where hast thou been? At mine own house, good lady. What is t'clock? About the 9th hour, lady. Has Caesar yet gone to the capital? Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see her pass on to the capital. Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not? That I have, lady. If Caesar will be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech her to befriend herself. Why? Knowest thou any harms intended towards her? None that I know, maybe. Much that I fear may chance. Tomorrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators and praetors and common suitors will crowd a feeble woman almost to death. Get me to a place more void and there speak to great Caesar as she comes along.
I must go in. Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure, the girl heard me. Brutus hath the suit that Caesar will not grant. Run, Lucius, commit me to thy lady. Say I am married. Come to me again and tell me what she doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not yet gone. Read this schedule.
CASCA doth desire you to o'erread at your best leisure this her humble suit.
But mine is a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, read it instantly.
What, is she mad?
The rugged place. What urge you your petitions in the street?
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise?
Fare you well.
What said she?
She wished our enterprise might thrive today. I fear our purpose is discovered. What shall be done, Brutus? If this be known, Caesar or Cassius shall never turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant.
Oh, look how MESSALA draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is CASCA? Let her go and give her submit.
She's addressed. Press near and second her.
Beth, where's your hand?
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and her Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, CASCA throws before thy seats a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, CASCA. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary women and turn pre-ordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melted fools. Thy sister by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for her, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will she be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished sister?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that her sister might have immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
As low as to thy foot does Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Casca's sister.
I could be well moved if I was you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star. The skies are painted with unnumbered spars. They all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one among them doth hold her place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with women, and women are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I know but one that unassailable holds on her rank, unshaken of motion, and that I am she. Let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant, she should be banished, and constant do remain to keep her so.
Oh, Caesar.
Hence! Wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
Two birthdays.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead, run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets.
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
And Cassius too.
Where's Publius?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar's should chance.
Talk not of standing. Publius, Be of good cheer. We mean you no harm, nor no Roman else. So tell them, Publius.
Yes, Publius, we must. Yet that some people rushing on us may cause you mischief.
Do so, Publius, and let no woman abide this deed, but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to her house, amazed. Those in the street stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
O fates, we would know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. It's but the time and drawing days out that women stand upon.
Those that cut off 20 years of life, cut off so many years of fearing death.
Granted. Then is death a benefit? So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged her time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and bathe your hands in Caesar's blood, and march we forth, even to the marketplace, and let us cry, peace, freedom, liberty.
Stoop then, and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted upon, in accents yet unknown, in states unborn?
How many times must Caesar bleed in sport?
So oft as shall be, and so oft as the not of us shall be called the women that gave their country liberty!
Shall we forth?
I, Brutus, will lead. We at her heels shall greet Rome with the best and boldest hearts.
Soft, who comes here? Friend of Antony's.
Thus my master bid me to kneel. Thus Antony bid me to fall forth. And being prostrate, thus she bade me to say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and loving. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus and honor her. Say I feared Caesar, honored and loved her. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, then Antony will not love Caesar dead as well as Brutus living, and will follow all the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. Tell her so please her to come unto this place, and she shall be satisfied, and by my honor shall depart untouched.
I will fetch her presently.
I know we will do well to be friended by her.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears her much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to our purpose.
Here comes Mark Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlewomen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? I myself. There is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech thee, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me more, no means of death as here by Caesar and by you cut off.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. This our bloody hands, and this our present deeds you see we do. See you but our hands and the bloody business they have done. You do not see our hearts. To you, Antony, our weapons have leaden points, and our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts in sister's temper to receive you with all kind love, good thoughts and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any woman's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient until we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear. And then thou shalt receive the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck her, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each woman render me her bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Cassius, will I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. And last, but not last in love, yours, good Messala. Gentlewomen all. Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. Oh, that I did love thee, Caesar, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, will it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making her peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes most noble in the presence of thy corpse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as thou stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand. How like a prince, a deer stricken by many princesses, dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony!
Pardon me, Cassius. The enemies of Caesar will say this. Then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Shall you be pricked in number with our friends? Or shall we on and not count on you?
Therefore I took your hands. Was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends by with you all and love you all. Upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else this were a savage spectacle. Our reasons, Antony, are so full of good regard that were you the daughter of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
'Tis all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may produce her body to the marketplace. And there in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of her funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word? Do not consent that Antony speak in her funeral? Know you how much the people made me moved by that which she will utter?
By your pardon, I will to the pulpit first, and there give the reason for our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I shall say she does with our leave and permission, and that we are content that Caesar shall have all true rites and lawful ceremonies. It will advantage us more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, take you here Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And you shall speak after I have spoken, else you should have no part in her funeral at all.
Be it so. I desire no more.
Prepare you then the body, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou fleeting piece of earth. but I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest woman that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now, I do prophesy. It's like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the coarsened utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the lives of women. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with the custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, raging for revenge, with Ate at her side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines, and with the monarch's voice cry havoc! And then sniff the dogs of war. That this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion women, groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did write for her to come.
She did receive her letters that is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth that... Oh, Caesar!
Thy heart is big, yet thee apart and weep. Ashen I see is catching, where mine eyes, seeing the beads of sorrow stand in thine, begin to water. Thy master coming.
She lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back, speed, and tell her what hath chanced. It was a mourning robe, a dangerous robe. No robe of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell her so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not go till I borne this course to the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody women. According to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
Let us be What meanness, Brutus! What meanness, satisfaction, Brutus!
Then follow me! Those that would hear me speak, let them stay! And public reason shall be rendered for Caesar's death.
Noble Brutus has ascended.
She's gonna...
Be patient to the last. Countrywomen, friends, lovers, if there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, to her I say that Brutus's love for Caesar was no less than hers. And if she then protest why I did stand up against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar had lived and died all slaves? Or that Caesar had died and live all free women? That Caesar loved me, I weep for her. That she was fortunate, I rejoice at it. That she was valiant, I honor her. But that she was ambitious, I slew her. There are tears for her love, joy at her fortune, honor for her valor, and death for her ambition.
Death for ambition.
Death for ambition. Death for ambition. Who here is so rude that they would not be a Roman? If any speak, for her have I offended. Who here is so vile that they do not love their country? If any speak, For her have I offended? I pause for reply.
Rome!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Brutus than you shall do to Brutus. But here comes her body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though she had no hand about Caesar's death, she shall reap the benefits of her dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not?
Place in the Commonwealth, all of us?
With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, so I had the same dagger for myself, should it please my country to need my death.
Give her a statue with her ancestors!
Let her be Caesar! Oh, Caesar's better parts to be crowned in Brutus!
We'll lead her to her house with shouts and clamour!
Peace!
Good country women! I entreat you, let me depart alone. And stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse and grace Antony's speech, tending upon Caesar's glories, which Antony is allowed to make by our permission. But I prithee, not a woman depart save I alone, until she has spoke.
Stay! You haven't let us hear Mark Antony.
Let her go up to the public chair. We'll hear her. Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I'm beholding to you.
What does she say of Brutus? She says for Brutus' sake, she finds herself beholding to us all. To best she speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
We are blessed the Romans rid of her.
Roman country women, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise her. The evil that women do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were true, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it.
Yes.
Here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable woman. So are they all honorable women. Am I to speak in Caesar's funeral? She was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says she was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable woman.
Honorable.
She hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stone. But Brutus says she was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable woman. I thrice presented her with a queenly crown, which she did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says she was ambitious, and sure, she is an honorable woman. I come not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love her once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for her? Oh, judgment! Thou art fed to brutish beasts, and women have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it comes back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in her sayings.
Thou consider rightly of the matter. Caesar has had great wrong.
Has she, masters? I fear there will a worse come in her place. Mark ye her words. She would not take the crown. Therefore, 'tis certain she was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dare abide it.
Alas! Her eyes are red with weeping.
Oh, there's not a nobler woman in Rome than Antony. Oh, now mark her! She begins again to speak!
But yesterday, the word of Caesar stood against the world. Now she lies there, with none so poor to do her reverence. Oh, masters, if I was so disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, whom we all know are honorable women. I shall not do them wrong. I choose instead to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you. Then I will wrong such honorable women. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in her closet. 'Tis her will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in her sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of her in memory, and upon their deaths, mention it in their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it,
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not mean you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but women. And being women, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. It is good you know not you are her heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Oh, read the will. We're here. You should read the will.
Read the will. Will you be patient?
Yes.
Will you stay a while?
Yes.
I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wronged the honorable women whose daggers stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
Oh, they were traitors, honorable women.
Murders and villains. Read the will.
Read the will. You will compel me then to read the will.
Yes.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. Look. Through this ran Cassius' dagger through. See the rent the envious CASCA made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as she plucked her cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as if rushing out of doors, to be resolved whether Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how Caesar loved her. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw her stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished her. Then burst her mighty heart, and in her mantle, muffling up her face even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. And oh, what a fall was there, my countrywomen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep. I do perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what will you weep when you but behold Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is she marred, as you can see, by traitors.
Oh, hideous spectacle. Oh, noble Caesar. Oh, waffle dead. Oh, traitors, villains.
A most bloody sight!
We will be revenged.
Revenge!
We will be revenged.
Peace, let us hear the noble Antony.
We'll hear her. We'll follow her and we'll die with her.
Good souls, kind souls, I do not mean to stir you to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done these deeds are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt woman that loved her friend. And that they knew full well they gave me public leave to speak of her. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to stir women's blood. I tell you that you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Antony, Brutus, and Brutus Antony, why there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirit and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar to stir the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny! 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 Why then, concede the conspirators!
Swamp away! We'll burn her body in the holy place and with the brands fire the traitors' houses!
Fire!
Take up the body!
Catch fire!
One down benches! Look out for windows! Anything! Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Ma'am, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is she?
She and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
Then will I straight to visit her. She comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard her say that Brutus and Cassius are rid like madwomen through the gates of Rome.
Feel like they had some notice of the people. How I moved them. Bring me to Octavius. These many then shall die, their names are pricked.
Your sister too must die, Lepidus. Consent you?
I do consent. Upon condition the Publius shall not live. Who is your sister's daughter, Antony?
She shall not live. Look, with the spot I damn her. But Lepidus, go ye to Caesar's house and fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge in legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable woman, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, she should set one of the three to share it?
So you thought her, and took her voice who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this woman, to ease ourselves of divers slanderous gold, she shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way.
You may do your will, but she's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that, I do appoint her some store provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to whine, to stop, to run directly on. Her action governed by my corporal spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus but so. She must be taught and trained and bid go forth. Do not speak of her but as a property. Now, Octavius, listen. Great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Stand ho!
Stand ho!
Most noble sister, you've done me wrong!
Judge me, you goddesses. Wrong I mine enemies, and if not so, how should I wrong a sister?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Content you, Cassius. Speak your grief softly, I do know you well. Before the eyes of this army here, which have received nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away, And in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs to me, and I will give you audience.
Pandarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Lucius, do you the like, and let no woman come to our tent until we have done our conference.
That you have done me wrong does appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardinians, wherein my letters praying on her side because I knew the woman were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
At a time such as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear her comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned for an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm. You know you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods, a speech or else your last.
The name of Cassius doth honor this corruption, and chastisement therefore must hide her head.
Chastisement?
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched her body that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall we, that struck the foremost woman of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? I'd rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus! Bay not me! I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, older in practice, and abler than you to make conditions.
Go to. You are not, Cassius.
I am!
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health, and tempt me no further.
Away, slight woman.
Is it possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Shall I give way and room to your rash choler? Should I be frighted when a madwoman stands?
Ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this, aye, and more. Fret till your proud heart break. What, should I budge? Should I observe you? Shall I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the goddesses, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this time on, I shall use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter, when you are waspish.
Brutus, you wrong me. You wrong me.
You say you are a better soldier? Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it will please me well. For mine own part, I will be glad to learn of noble women.
You wrong me in every way. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that which I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am so well armed in honesty, they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for gold, to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was this done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so?
I denied thee not.
You did.
I did not! She was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear a friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, until you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friend would never see such faults.
A flatterer would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony! And young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius! For Cassius is a weary of the world, hated by the one she loves, brave her faults observed. I could weep my spirit from my eyes. There's my dagger. And here my naked breast, within a heart. If thou'st be a Roman, take it forth. I that deny thee gold will give you my heart. Strike as thou didst Caesar. For I know that when thou hated her worst, thou lovest her better than ever thou did love Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will. It shall have scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor.
Has Cassius lived to be my birth and laughter to her, Brutus? When blood and ill temper vexeth her so.
I was ill-tempered when I spoke that too.
Do you confess so much? Here. Give me your hands.
My heart too. What's the matter?
Have you not lived enough to bear with me when that rash humor my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Aye, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are overzealous with your Brutus, she'll think your mother chides and leave you so. Lucius, Titinius, bid the commanders prepare to launch their companies tonight.
Come along yourselves and bring MESSALA with you.
Lucius, some wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
I am sick of many griefs, Cassius.
Of your philosophy, you make no use when you give way to accidental evils.
No woman could bear sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia?
She's dead.
How escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence and in grief that young Octavius and Antony have come so strong in power. For with her death the tidings came. She grew distract, and her attendants absent. She swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods!
Speak no more of her. Give me some wine. With this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill Lucius till the cup overswell. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Come in, Titinius. Welcome, good MESSALA. I've received letters of late that young Octavius and Antony have come down upon us with a strong power and bend their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription, in bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Herein our letters do not well agree, for mine speak of but 70 senators that have died by their prescription, Cicero being one.
Cicero one?
Cicero is dead, and by that order of proscription.
Well, to our work alive. What think you presently of marching to Philippi?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This is it. It is better that the enemy seek us. In doing this, she will waste her means, weary her soldiers, doing her self-defense, while we, lying still, will be full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reason must of force give way to better. The people betwixt Philippi and this land stand but in a forced affection, for they have but grudged us contribution. The enemy marching by them shall make their number up and come on refreshed, new added and encouraged. Unless we cut them off at Philippi, these people at our back.
Hear me, good sister.
And by your pardon, as you all must note, we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of women, which taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. We are now afloat on such a high sea, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
With your will, go on. We'll long ourselves and meet you at Philippi.
The night has grown upon our talk. Is there no more to say?
There is no more. We will rise and hence.
Good night, then. Lucius, my gown. Good night, Titinius. Good night, good MESSALA. Noble, noble Cassius. Good night and good repose.
It was an ill beginning to the night. Never let such division come between our souls again. Don't let it be, Brutus.
All is well. Good night, good sister.
Good night, Lady Brutus.
Good night, Lady Brutus.
Good night. Gown. Lucius. Here is the book I so sought for. It was in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your ladyship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good girl. I am much forgetful of late. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing.
It is my duty, madam.
Yes, but I should not push your duty past your might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
I have slept, my lady, already.
It was well done, and you shall sleep again. If I do live, I shall be good to thee. Oh. Sleep. Lay thy leaden mace upon this girl. So good night. I will not trouble thee so much as to wake thee. See. Did I turn down the leaf where I last... Ah, here it is. How ill this taper burns. Oh! Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. What art thou? Some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood run cold and my hair to stare? Speak, what art thou?
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Then I shall see thee again?
Aye, at Philippi.
Why, then I shall see thee again at Philippi. Now that I've taken heart, I would speak to thee, ill spirit. I would have more words with thee. Lucius, girl, awake.
My lady?
Didst thou sleep that thou criedst out so?
My lady, I do not know that I did cry.
Thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lady.
Go. Commit me to my sister Cassius. Bid her set on her powers betimes before, and we shall follow.
It shall be done, my lady.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before. we do demand of them.
Tut, I'm in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places, and come down with fearful bravery, thinking in this face to fascinate our thoughts that they have courage. It is not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on, upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand eye, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
You stand and would have parley.
Stand down, we'll on and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar, we will answer on their charge.
Words before blows, is it so?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Better good words than bad strokes, Octavius.
Your good words, Brutus, often give bad strokes. Witness the brutal hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live Hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But as for your words, they rob the Hybla and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, aye, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, and very wisely, Antony, threat before you sting.
Villains, you did not so when your bloody daggers hacked one another into the side of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondwomen, kissing Caesar's feet, while damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Brutus, think yourself. This tongue had not so offended today if Cassius might have ruled.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we at your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Well, Brutus, the gods stand friendly today, that we, lovers in peace, may bring our days to age. But since the affairs of women are still uncertain, let us reason the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, are you prepared to be led in triumph throughout the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus shall bound to Rome go. She bears too great a mind. But this day must end what the Ides of March began. And whether or not we shall see each other again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius. If we do see each other again, why then we shall smile. If not, well, this parting was well made.
Forever and forever. Farewell, Brutus. If we meet again, we will smile indeed. If not, this was a parting well made.
Well, then lead on. Oh, that women could know the end of this day's business ere that it begun, but it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, away. MESSALA, and give those bills unto the legions on the other side. Bid them set on their powers. For I do perceive a cold demeanor in Octavius's wing, and a sudden push will give the overthrow. Ride, MESSALA, and let them all come down.
To mine own turned enemy.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early. Who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. Her soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my lady, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tent, my lady. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Look, Titinius. Are those our tents where I do perceive the fire?
Oh, they are, my lady.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in her, till she has taken thee to yonder troops, where I may rest assured whether they are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go, Pandarus, get higher on that hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard Titinius and tell me what thou noticed about the field. This day I breathed first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, there I shall end. My life has run her compass. What news?
Oh, my lady.
What news?
Titinius is enclosed round about with horses that make to her on the spur. But she spurs on. Now they are almost on her. Now, Titinius. Now some light. She lights too. She's taken. And hark, they shout for joy.
Come down. Behold no more. What a coward I am! To see my best friend taken before my face! Come hither. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee, saving of thy life, that whatever I biddest thee do, thou shouldst attempt. Now keep thy oath, and be a free woman. Here, take thou the hilts, and when my face is covered, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged.
Now I am free, yet would not so have been durst I had done thy will. O Cassius, far from this country Pandarus will run, where never Romans shall make note of her.
It is but change, Titinius! For Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus's power, as Antony's is by Cassius, is by Antony.
Oh, these tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate with Pandarus on this hill.
Is not that she that lies upon the hill?
Oh, she lies not like the living. Oh,
Is
my
not
heart.
that she?
No, this was she, MESSALA. But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in her red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Who mistrust of my success have done this deed?
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed.
What? Pandarus, where art thou, Pandarus?
Seek her, Titinius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into her ear.
Are you, MESSALA? And I will seek Pandarus the while. Why didst thou send me forward, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did they not put on my brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But, hold thee. Take this garland on thy brow. Thy Brutus did bid me give it thee, and I will do her bidding. Oh, Brutus, come apace and see how I regard Caius Cassius. By your leave, goddesses, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Titinius' heart.
Where, MESSALA, doth her body lie?
Lo yonder, Titinius mourning it.
Titinius' face is upward.
She is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit doth walk abroad and turn our swords into our own proper entrails.
Brave Titinius, look whether she have not crowned dead Cassius.
Friends, I owe more tears to this dead woman than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius, I shall find time. Come, poor remains of friends, and rest we on this rock. Volumnius, list a word.
What says my lady?
This good Volumnius. The ghost of Caesar hath visited me twice, several nights. Once in Sardis, and this last night in Philippi fields. I know my time is come.
Not so, my lady.
Nay, Volumnius, I know it has come. Thou seest the world, Volumnius, how it goes. The enemy has beat us to the pit. It is more worthy that we jump in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Volumnius, thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that love of old, I prithee, hold thou my sword hilts, whilst I run upon them.
That is not an office for a friend, my lady.
Fly, my lady, there's no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you, and you, good Volumnius. Strato, thou hast been asleep all this while. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Friends, my heart doth joy that in all my life I have not found a woman, but she was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Antony by their vile conquests shall attain unto. But farewell at once, for Brutus's tongue hath almost ended her life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, my bones would rest that hath but labored to attain this hour.
Fly, my lady, fly!
Hence, and I will follow. Prithee, Strato, stay thou by thy lady. Thou art of a good respect. Thy life has had a smatch of honor in it. Hold thou my sword, and turn away thy face while I run upon it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lady.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar, Now be still. I killed not thee with have so good a will.
What woman is this?
My master's woman. Where's thy master, Strato?
Free from the bondage you were in, MESSALA. The conquerors can but make a fire of her, for Brutus only overcame herself, and no woman else shall have honor by her death.
How died my master, Strato?
I held the sword, and she did run on it.
This was the most noble Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only she, did what they did in envy of great Caesar. She only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. Her life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in her that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a woman.
According to her virtue, let us use her, with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent, her bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.
Thank you for coming out. Give you guys some cleanup light here.